twisted pair has 8 cables, 8 wires, twisted as pairs. If each pair is covered separately, then it is called STP. Based on number of twisting, we can see category 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cables in the industry. Even so there are more categories like category 3, cat 4, cat 5, cat 5e. Likewise, there are several subcategories too. Anyway, that is based on number of twistings. Cat 3 cable is very low quality. Cat 5 is some average quality. Cat 7 is good quality. But cat 7 will be expensive, right? Cat 3 is low quality. And cat 7 is high quality. But cost of cat 7 will be high. Cost of STP cables are also high. For general small networks, most people uses cat 5e or cat 6 cables in UTP category. That is also UTP. No, so normally people are not using STP cables, they are using UTP cable. Even quality is high. So thinking about the expenses, people will use cat 5e or cat 6 cables with UTP. So that is how these cables are used. So there's a color code, right? There's a color code also. So better write down that also. Colors in twisted pair cables, because that is standard, right? Colors in twisted pair cables. So these are the colors, and so you can see blue, then you have blue white, then you have orange and orange white, then brown white. Brown white means brown and white mix. Then green white. So these are the colors in twisted pair cables. And very important point, twisted pair cables uses RJ45 connector and coaxial cables are using, coaxial cables are using B and C connectors. That is very important point. Please write down all these things. I'll show you what these connectors are. Okay, then the next thing. So this RJ45 and coaxial cables, I think you should know. So this BNC connectors and RJ45 connectors. So here this is RJ45. RJ45 is similar to telephone cable, telephone port. So this is the RJ45 connector, and this is how these colors are. They are in the RJ45 connector, right? This is how the colors and the cabling part is done. So there are like two wiring techniques. So one is called 568A wiring. In the 568A wiring, the cable order will be like this. And there's another one. This is called 568B wiring. In the 568B wiring, there's a different cable arrangement. The orange and orange white comes first. So this is the basic thing, and this is 568A and 568B wiring. So these are some standards actually. So this 568A and 568B and are some standards. But normally nowadays we are not following, most of the people practically they are not following these standards because these switches are smart enough. Network equipments are smart enough to identify the cable type or the wiring type. So even if you are not going to select the cable wiring type, so still so this color codes even without these color codes or even without these arrangements, so these now new devices can identify the signal, because these wires are dedicated for different type of signals. That's why the RJ45, so it's sending signals and maybe sending these voltages happen in a different way. That's why this standard is there. Each wire is not sending the same signal. Each wire is not transmitting the same signal. So this is RJ45, and I'll use this image since it indicates R568B and 568B by A and B wiring both. But for the examination purpose, it is better to remember these color codes. But I don't think that they will ask from this level. But practically, when it comes to real networking, you should know the color coding in the A wiring and B wiring. These are two standards. So if you want to, okay, let's say you follow one side this standard and the other side this standard, then what will happen? One side A standard and other side B standard. What do you think? What will happen? The cable එකක් අපි connect කරනවා. එක පැත්තක තියෙනවා 568A wiring. The second side has 568B wiring. Then what will happen? Yes. So are you sleeping? No. Hello. You have to, come on, you have to, I know your answer is not going to be the perfect answer, but still you can try it. You have not learned this lesson previously. I know that. You can just give a try. Okay, then, okay, let me explain the thing. So one side 568B and other side 568A wiring. So that means two sides are in two wiring techniques. Then we call that cable as a crossover cable. Crossover cable. Crossover cables are used to connect one device to another device, which when devices are same. For example, laptop can be connected to another laptop using crossover wiring. So then it will easily be connected. So this is what crossover wiring, right? So maybe these are some practical things. Crossover cable. Crossover cable means one side you are using here, one side 568A wiring, and the other side you are using the other version. Here this is how 568A wiring and 568B wiring. Here B wiring order එක බලන්නකෝ. White, orange, orange, white, green, blue, then white and blue, green, brown, white, and brown. So then the other side you can see, so this one, but the middle cable need to be set. So this is called crossover cable. When you have a crossover cable, so here you can see actually signal type C1, but you don't have this much of depth. This is there in the network. In real networking, you should know this. So basic idea is if you have 568B to A, so we call crossover wiring, basic idea. And 568A to A or 568B to B, we call that is straight cable. So straight cable is used to connect different here, straight through. Straight cable is used to connect. You can see this one. I think this one is very useful. Straight cable can connect different devices. Router to switch, switch to computer, switch to machine, and laptop to computer or bridge or whatever. So you can see here, this is where straight cables are used. Crossover wiring, similar devices. Router to router, machine to machine, crossover. Gather computer laptop. If you want to network both, you have to create a crossover wiring, crossover cable. So these are some additional stuff, right? But so just remember there are two standards and this wiring colors. So these are used in practical wiring. But in your syllabus, you don't have practical wiring. In your syllabus, you have examination-based things like it will ask about the quality of category 1 cable, category 2 cable, those things, and what is a twisted pair, what's the difference between twisted pair connector and the BNC connector. So this is twisted pair RJ45 connector. And so I want to show the RJ45 port also. RJ45 port. You know the port is the place where connector is connected, right? Port is the place where connector is connected. You can see here, port is the place where this RJ45 wire is connected. So let's take a good example like this. It's not clear. Okay, here this is RJ45 or Ethernet port. You should know that as well. So because in image, you should be able to identify this. If they give an image and ask what is this, you should be able to identify. This connector will connect to this port. And there's another thing, as I said, the BNC port. BNC port. BNC connector and the BNC port. This is BNC port, similar to that antenna wire port. And this is connector and port. Port is something like this. This is BNC connector and this is BNT port. Here you can see these are BNT connectors. So this is there in the back side of your TV. You can see BNC connector and BNC. So this is like BNC network, right? So earlier days, these BNC based networks were really popular, right? But nowadays we are using mostly that twisted pair based connector. Okay, let's say connect. I think connector itself will be enough. So what is this male and female? What is male and female? Because I'm asking the general things. What is male and female? Male port and female port. Situ, do you know? If you don't know, tell me. So I don't know. No idea. So then I can tell. Otherwise, I'm just waiting. Situm, do you know female port and male ports? Situm? No answer.
No idea, sir.
No idea, right? Sitmi?
No idea.
Okay. Right. So you can see some ports here. What is this one? Make a So what's the idea? Why this port is used? This green color one? Any idea? right?
To
Tree,
connect mouse.
yes, to connect the mouse. Here, this one is to connect the keyboard. So this is, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, and you have 15 holes. This is used for monitor, VGA. This is USB, and these are for sounds. Okay, you can see some ports are having here, some ports, here, most of the ports, you can see those are having holes. Holes. When you have holes, these ports are called female ports. Here, sound ports are female. RJ45, you can see it's female. And this VGA port is a female port. This mouse and keyboard one is a female. Right? This is female. But you can see this, there are two things. So BNC male means you have a pin. Make a pin BNC male cable. So this is BNC female. So it depends on the port. Right? You can connect. So if you want to connect, right, see here, VGA cable and VGA port. VGA cable and port. So this one is VGA cable. It has pins. This one is VGA port. It has holes. So normally a male cable can be connected to female ports. Normally not, it's a natural scenario. So male port can be connected to male cable can be connected to female port. So if you have a female cable, this is, you can see this is a female cable, this side. So this can be connected to male port. This is a female cable, this is a male port. So male cable side, this is male to, you can say this is female to male or male to female, the other way. Male to female කියන්නත් පුළුවන් නැත්නම් මේ පැත්තෙන් මේක නම් දෙකක් තියෙන මේකනේ. එහෙනම් male to female. VGA male to female connector converter. Here you can see VGA female. VGA female port, VGA male cable. Right? I have seen like so so serial port, see. Serial port. Is it a female port or male port? This is serial port. This you can see this. Yes, this is the serial port. Is it a male port or female port? Situm? Male කියලා කියන්නේ. So I think you understood that, right? Male port is a port having pins. If port having holes, here port having holes, those are called female. Port having pins are called male. So out of this, so you can see this mouse, keyboard, this is what? This is parallel, this is VGA. What are they? Are they female or male?
Female.
Female. So what about this? This is serial.
Male.
Male. Right. So you know what? I have seen some students. Right. I have seen some students. These ports are, it looks like same size. I have seen some students. This is, you can see this is clearly a male port. I have seen some students connecting. Let me take another Google. VGA cable. You can see VGA cable is having, here VGA cable is male cable, this male cable. I have seen some student connecting this male cable to this serial port. So you see the VGA is a male. VGA cable is a male. This is also male. If you are connecting male to male, then pin එක අද වෙනවා. මම දැන් මේ දෙකම එකම size නේ, එකම size ඉඳ ටක් ගාලා අහක බලාගෙන මොකද කරන්නේ? ඒගොල්ලෝ they will take this male cable and they are trying to connect that to male port. Male cable, they are trying to connect to male port. That is not legal. Right? Even Sri Lanka, that is not legal, so don't try. right? So male to male or female to female. So don't make such connections. So there's a standard way of doing that. So male to female or female to male. That is the normal, standard, natural way of connecting cables. Not about other things. Right? I'm just telling about the cables. Okay, now you know the story. So what is male cable? Now what is female cable? There can be. So you have to decide based on your interfaces. You have to first check whether you have a female cable or male cable. Oh, sorry, male port or female port. Then when you go to the market, you have to buy the correct type of cable matching to that. Don't buy, if you have a male connector, don't buy a male cable and come and plug. Or if you have a female connector, don't buy a female cable and try to connect. That won't happen. That won't help. Right, okay. So I think the whole story is there in these pictures. Rather than drawing that, take a screenshot. Right, because if you are going to draw this, it will take a lot of time. So take a screenshot, then let's proceed after keeping some space. Later you can slowly draw this. Okay. Right. Now you know the type of cables, type of connectors used with that cables, and these guided media, twisted pair, and coaxial cables. So next is fiber optic cables. The third one, please write after keeping some space. Fiber optic cables. The third one is, it comes guided media. So the A and B, and next one will be C. C is fiber optic cables, optic fiber. So this is different from the above two technologies. Can anyone tell me why this is different from the above two technologies? Above two also cables, fiber optic also cables, but there's a difference. There's a major difference. What is that? Satira, what is that? There's a major difference between fiber optic and the other two type of cables. Sitmi?
Fiber optic faster than
Fiber optic is faster than the other two cables. That is obviously,
yes.
but that is not the major difference. So, but that is also kind of difference. That is true. Fiber optic is faster than other two. Sitmi, anything else?
Network for transmission.
It can be transmit. It can be used to transmit for a long distance. Right, that is another thing. So short, not for a short distance transmission, because previous two cables can go up to 200 meters, which is useful in short distance transmission. But fiber optic basically used for long distance transmission. Okay, that is also I agree. But what about the other difference? There's a major difference in the technology wise. There's a major difference. What is that?
Reflecting light to generate signal.
Yes, that is the major thing. So it reflects light. The above thing, about two things, two technologies reflecting, are not reflecting lights. Those two technologies are using magnetic or electrons. They're transmitting using electrons. Electron transmission is used, or the copper cable, whatever current is transmitted. But this one, light is transmitted. That is the difference. So the above two, current transmission or the electricity transmission or electron transmission happens. But this one, not electrons. This is transmitting light. So please write transmitting light instead of electrons. Transmitting light instead of electrons. transmitting light instead of electrons. It is super faster, no issue of electromagnetic interference, no issues of electromagnetic interference. So the previous one I wrote, I think the letters used for interference, it's correct. No issues of electromagnetic interference. And used to transmit signals over long distances. Over long distances. Used to transmit signals over long distances. Costly. Not easy to bend. Not easy to bend. As reflection might be affected. Difficult to merge cables. Difficult to merge cables. So these are the issues, but fiber optic is the ideal solution for a fast or long distance transmission. Unlike the other two technologies, fiber optic is the technology. It is the technology. It is irreplaceable. Why? You can't use copper wire instead of fiber optic because fiber optic is the technology which is to transmit internet even. But copper wire, it's very difficult. You need repeaters. You need to amplify the signal and repeat it. Likewise, it's a hazard. It's a lot of problems. But light can be transmitted easily, but it is costly and you need good infrastructure too. So it's not a easy thing. Even you know that we have many telecommunication providers. We have many telecommunication providers of Sri Lanka, but only a very few providing, right? Only a very few providing fiber optic solutions, even though we have many. Right. So then, so another thing that you should know when it comes to fiber. So, example, see me V fiber backbone cable. So what is CME fiber backbone cable? So it is how we get internet over fiber. So we get two ways internet, internet received in two channels. Basically, it can be wired, so like wireless, like satellite, and it can be wired. So this is the wired connection that we get to Sri Lanka. So this cable. So this is actually underneath. Oh, this is this is actually connecting continents, subcontinents. This is underneath the ocean, right? So this is how this connection happens, right? This is how it's connected in CMEV5. Okay, by looking at this, you can tell what is CMEV. This is CMEV. I don't think you'll be able to draw this, but just for your reference, I'm adding the image. And this is how it's connected. In Sri Lanka, you can see what is the area connected. You see maybe 5. So early it was connected to Colombo, I think, as I remember, but it seems this one it shows is Madhara. And we are lucky, you know, here. The Mumbai having extension, but we are having a direct connection. So we should have fastest internet. Right, so the old version is basically, this is CMEV3. It's not exactly showing the location where we were connected in CMEV3. CMEV2. This is CMEV3. It seems it's connected to Colombo, right? CMEV3. This image, you can see it's connected to Colombo, but CMEV5 cable, the new version. In Sri Lanka, it's Mount Lavinia, you can see here. The point is Mount Lavinia in Sri Lanka. Posh in India, Mumbai in India, Karachi in Pakistan, Mount Lavinia in Sri Lanka. This is CMEV3, right? In CMEV5, this is also fiber cable. In CMEV5, you can see the location is, CMEV6 is also there, no? So I have not seen that. So CMEV6, see where's the location in CMEV6. So the extensions are given, right? Sri Lanka, so where's the connected in, connection is not given. Okay, now you have seen even. So can you tell me what is CMEV? Yes? Didn't you read? Taggala කියවගත්තේ නැද්ද? Wikipedia එකෙත් පේන්න තිබ්බා. What is CMEV? Sit me? It says Southeast Asia, Middle East, Western Europe. Right? Western Europe, Middle East, and Southeast Asia. So that is the areas. Those are the areas connected to this here. These are the areas connected to this cable. There are many cable, right? But this is the connection of CMEV. Just write it. Don't actually no need to draw the map. Just write it. What is CMEV fiber optic backbone, and that is how we get cable internet. This is how we get wired internet through fiber. So this is a fiber line. It's a large fiber line. You can see fiber. So not here, CMEV3. This word fiber is not there, but anyway. Here, two fiber pairs, you can see 10 gigabit per second is the estimated speed of this line.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, why there are numbers like 1, 2, 3?
The versions, different versions, CME version 1. So, some countries are requesting connections, no? New countries, they want some extensions. Here you can see Karachi, Mumbai. So you have seen in CME 6, there are many places connected. Here Matara connection is given to Matara. So likewise, these versions, different versions, time to time, there are enhancements in this cable. Time to time, there are enhancements in this cable. Once, actually, I cannot remember the year, but one time actually, because of a ship, this cable was damaged. Then you know what will happen. So that time we didn't have internet for a long period. Because if this cable is up only, we will get internet. Otherwise, we will not get. But now we have other media, the wireless media also. But wireless speed is very low. This fiber speed is very high. So when people request extensions, the cable version changes. Who maintains this? So there's a consortium related to this.